Most men will live their entire lives never understanding why they are ignored, why they are ghosted, or why their kindness is met with cold indifference. You are playing a game you were never taught the rules to, and you are losing, confused, broken, and alone. 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote down truths so dangerous that governments tried to burn his words. He saw human nature for what it is, not what we want it to be. If you aren't ready to have your worldview shattered, turn this video off now. But if you want to understand the brutal reality of the game you are losing, stay. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Kindness. Think about the last time you were in an argument with a woman you cared about. Think about those long, desperate paragraphs you sent at 2 a.m. You were explaining your heart. You were proving how much you care. You were being nice. What did it get you? Did it bring her closer? No. It pushed her away. It made her go cold. It made her lose respect for you. You've been lied to. Society told you that if you are just good enough, kind enough, or supportive enough, you will be rewarded with love. That is a fantasy. In the real world, kindness is not a strategy. It is the default. It is the bare minimum. When you lead with your kindness, you are showing your hand before the game even begins. You are saying, I have nothing else to offer, so please like me for being harmless. Machiavelli understood that the masses are led by appearance, but the ruler is led by reality. To a woman, a man who is only nice is a man who is predictable, and predictability is the death of attraction. Kindness without the capacity for ruthlessness is not a virtue, it is a lack of options. It is the scent of a man who is afraid of conflict. It is the vibration of a man who is begging for permission to exist. Stop performing. Stop trying to earn points by being the best friend. You are projecting the image of a servant, not a king. When you rush to please, you are subconsciously telling her that her judgment is the only thing that validates your worth. It reeks of the same childhood weakness where you begged a teacher for a passing grade. You are an adult now, but you are still asking for a gold star. The truth is cold, but it is necessary. Kindness is a tool, not a personality. If it's all you have, you are naked in a world of predators. You think you are being romantic. She sees you are being weak. You think you are being a good man. She sees a man who has no teeth. Women do not crave a nice man. They crave a strong man who chooses to be kind. There is a massive difference. One is a slave to his own fear. The other is a master of his own power. If you want to change the result, you have to change the man. Let's move to the next chapter. Chapter 2. The Power of Unpredictability. Machiavelli once observed that the most successful rulers were those who kept their subjects in a state of suspended wonder. They never knew what was coming next. In modern dynamics, this is where most men fail before they even start. You think that by being an open book, you are showing honesty. You think that by pouring out your soul, your history, and your intentions in the first week, you are building a connection. You are actually serving her a glass of poisoned wine. The poison isn't hatred, it's boredom. The moment a person believes they have fully mapped out your mind, you cease to be a challenge. You become a fixture, a background noise. When you reveal every card in your hand, you strip away the tension that fuels attraction. Human nature is wired to solve puzzles, not to appreciate finished paintings. By being completely predictable, you are telling her that there is nothing left to discover. No mystery, no depth, no danger. Think about your behavior. You text at the same time every day. You react to her moods with the same concerned questions. You are always available, always accounted for, and always explainable. You are safe. But in the primal parts of the human psyche, safe is synonymous with invisible. You are projecting a lack of complexity. You are making yourself a solved equation. A surgeon studies anatomy to know where to cut. You must study your own transparency to know where to hide. Silence is not just the absence of talking, it is a strategic barrier. It forces the other person to fill the void with their own imagination. When you are unpredictable, you are no longer a servant waiting for a command. You are a force of nature that must be reckoned with. Reveal your heart too soon, and you give away your power. You become an object she owns rather than a man she desires. Most men are terrified of the unknown, so they try to make everything known. They try to explain, justify, and clarify. Stop. The need to be fully understood is a child's need. A man understands that true respect grows in the shade of what is left unsaid. You are easy. You are known. You are safe. You are invisible. Change now. Chapter 3. The Power of Boundaries. We've established that being predictable is a slow death, but now we must address the structure that prevents that death. Your boundaries. In the Machiavellian sense, a fortress is only as strong as the resolve of the man inside it. Most men today have no fortress. They have no walls. They are open fields waiting to be trampled, thinking that by having no boundaries, they are being easygoing. You are not being easygoing. You are being weak. Understand this. Women will test your boundaries. They will push. They will poke. And they will challenge your rules. Society tells you this is toxic or manipulative. It isn't. It's biological. Think of a flood hitting a dam. The water doesn't hate the dam. It is simply looking for a crack. It wants to know if the structure will hold. If the dam breaks, the water destroys everything. If the dam holds, the water settles and finds peace. When a woman tests you, she isn't trying to win. She is secretly hoping she loses. She is looking for a man who is solid enough to lean on. If you fold the moment she expresses dissatisfaction, you have failed the test. You have shown her that your principles are negotiable for the price of her smile. You have traded your respect for her comfort. It's a bad trade. Every time, Machiavelli wrote that it is much safer to be feared than loved. In modern terms, it is much safer to be respected than liked. If she likes you but doesn't respect you, she will eventually leave you. If she respects you, the love will follow, or it won't. But you will still have your soul. Stop asking for permission to have standards. Stop apologizing for things that require no apology. Why do you do it? Why do you lower your shield the moment there is tension? It's that 5-year-old child again, terrified that the authority figure is angry. You are looking at a woman and seeing a judge. You are performing for a verdict of good boy. It reeks of submission. A man of power does not explain his boundaries. He simply enforces them. He doesn't argue. He acts. He doesn't beg for understanding. He commands respect through his consistency. If you allow a small disrespect today, you are inviting a massive betrayal tomorrow. Stop trying to make them happy. Stop chasing their mood. Start building your walls. Don't please them. Force them to respect you. Chapter 4. Quitting the race for attention. All right. We've talked about the walls you must build. Now, let's talk about the energy you waste outside of them. Look at your phone. Look at how quickly you reply to a notification. 3 seconds. 5. You think you're being attentive. You think you're showing interest. It's not interest. It's a plea. Machiavelli understood that the prince who constantly seeks the approval of his subjects becomes their servant. When you suppress your own opinions to avoid a minor conflict, or when you rearrange your entire schedule just because she mentioned she might be free, you are announcing your position in the hierarchy. You are putting yourself at the bottom. You are signaling that your time has no value, your life has no direction, and your presence is a commodity that can be bought for the price of a scene receipt. Think back to why you do this. You are terrified of silence. You are terrified that if you don't respond immediately, if you don't keep the conversation alive, the flame will go out. So you fan it with desperation. You check your screen every 10 minutes. You analyze the punctuation in her texts like a scientist. It's pathetic. And deep down, you know it. Human beings are primal. We are wired to value what is scarce and disregard what is abundant. By being constantly available, you have made yourself cheap. You have become the default option. It's not romantic. It's a surrender. You are subconsciously saying, "You are the judge, and I am the performer. Please look at me. Please validate me. Stop chasing. Start building. Stop asking. Start deciding. Stop reacting. Start leading." Every time you beg for a scrap of attention, you are pouring your power into a bucket with no bottom. You are trying to fill a void with the very thing that makes the void grow deeper. When you crave attention, you lose power. When you demand nothing, you become the prize. It is time to kill the part of you that begs to be noticed. It is time to walk away from the race. Because the moment you stop running, you realize you were the one they were supposed to be following all along. You are available. You are desperate. You are powerless. Stop now. Chapter 5. The silent power of being willing to walk away. We've discussed your boundaries and your attention. Now, let's peel back the final layer of protection. This is the core of Machiavellian strategy. This is the one thing that separates the masters from the masses. Who holds the real power at any negotiation table? The one who is willing to walk away? They always do. Most men enter a relationship like a man dying of thirst in a desert. They are so terrified of losing the source that they will accept any condition, endure any disrespect, and swallow any humiliation just to keep her around. You think this shows loyalty? It doesn't. It shows that you have no alternatives. It shows that you are a prisoner of your own need. A surgeon doesn't get emotional when removing a tumor. He is clinical. He is precise. You must be the same with your life. If someone treats your presence as an option, you must make your absence their reality. No arguments. No long explanations. No begging for them to see your worth. If the terms of the deal are no longer acceptable, you stand up and you leave the table. Why is this so hard for you? Because you have spent your life being conditioned to be a provider and a protector, but you forgot that you cannot protect anything if you cannot even protect your own dignity. You are terrified of the silence that follows a breakup. You are terrified of being alone. And that fear is exactly what she senses. It is a scent of submission that humans can smell from a mile away. Power is not about control over others. It is about absolute control over yourself. It is the ability to say, "I love you, but I love my principles more." When you truly internalize the fact that you are okay with losing her, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. Because a man who has nothing to lose is a man who cannot be manipulated. Stop negotiating with people who don't value you. Stop explaining why you deserve respect. Stop waiting for them to change. The strongest position is silence. The ultimate move is departure. If you cannot walk away, You are not a partner. You are a hostage. Know your worth. Stand up. Walk out. Be gone. Chapter 6. Building your empire. All right. We've stripped away the lies of kindness, the trap of predictability, and the addiction to attention. Now, we arrive at the final truth that Machiavelli knew better than anyone. A prince's strength is not found in his pursuit of allies, but in the foundation of his own state. For too long, you have made women the sun in your solar system. Your moods, your goals, and your very identity have revolved around their orbit. This is a fundamental error in your internal geometry. You are walking around with a hollow core, trying to fill it with the validation of others. It will never work. You are trying to harvest fruit from a tree you haven't even planted. It is time to shift your focus. It is time to reclaim your masculine drive. Stop chasing. Start building. Stop begging. Start commanding. Stop performing. Start becoming. Stop asking for a seat at her table and start building a kingdom that she begs to enter. When your primary mission is a woman, you are a wanderer. When your primary mission is your empire, your career, your mind, your legacy, you become a destination. Human nature dictates that people want to be part of something growing, something powerful, and something certain. If you are constantly running after someone, you are proving that you have nowhere important to be. But when you are focused on your own ascent, the gravity of your ambition naturally pulls people toward you. This isn't about being cold, it's about being centered. It's about realizing that your value is not a reflection in someone else's eyes. It is the steel in your own spine. Machiavelli didn't waste time wondering if he was liked. He spent his time analyzing how power moves. You must do the same. Analyze your life. Where are the leaks? Where are you wasting energy on people who wouldn't even visit you in the hospital? Cut the dead weight. Redirect that energy into your purpose. You don't attract what you chase. You attract what you build. Build your body. Build your bank account. Build your character. Build your empire. The world doesn't reward those who wait for permission. It rewards those who build so much value that permission becomes irrelevant. Stop running. Start building. Now. Chapter 7. The choice. Victim or ruler. We have reached the end of the theories. The scalpel has done its work. Now, the mask is off, and you are left standing in front of a mirror. You have two choices. Only two. You can walk away from this video and go back to being the victim. You can continue to complain that women are too complicated, that the world is unfair, and that your kindness is a curse. Or you can choose to be the ruler. The victim blames the storm. The ruler builds the dam. The victim begs for an explanation. The ruler demands respect. The victim chases the shadow. The ruler becomes the light. It's not a game of romance. It's a game of reality. And in reality, there are no participation trophies. There is only power, and the lack of it. Every long text you sent was a choice. Every time you apologized for having a spine was a choice. Every second you spent wondering what she thinks instead of what you are building was a choice. You have been choosing to lose. You have been feeding the child inside you that is terrified of being alone. Kill that child. Kill the need for permission. Kill the hunger to be understood. If you want the life that 99% of men will never have, you must do what 99% of men are too afraid to do. You must be willing to be cold. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to walk away and never look back. This is the brutal truth that society tried to hide from you. This is the truth that Machiavelli laid bare 500 years ago. The game doesn't change just because you don't like the rules. You either master the game, or the game masters you. There is no middle ground. There is no safety in the nice guy lane. There is only the slow erosion of your dignity until there is nothing left. So, what is it going to be? Will you keep pleading for a seat at her table? Or will you go build your own? Stop crying. Start leading. Stop asking. Start ruling. The choice is yours. But remember, history only remembers the architects, never the servants. Choose now, conquer or collapse. It's time. The game hasn't changed. We've dissected the nature of desire and the mechanics of power. We've exposed the lies you were told to keep you weak. Now, the burden of truth is yours to carry. The most brutal reality of all is not that women are too complicated, or that the world is inherently rigged against you. The brutal truth is that most men are simply too lazy to become strong. They would rather stay in the comfort of their victimhood than face the pain of transformation. They would rather beg for a crumb of attention than build an empire that commands it. Do not be most men. Stop looking for excuses in the nature of others and start looking for the weakness in your own soul. If this wake-up call moved something inside you, hit that subscribe button. Share this with a brother who is still sleeping, who is still losing, and who needs to hear this cold, hard reality. The only person standing between you and the life you want is the version of you that's too comfortable to change. The choice is yours. Make it